There's a moment in The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, where Gandalf and Bilbo are sitting down like, we are just so done with this stuff. And I'm sure that Ian McKellen and Martin Freeman are just like, we are finished as well. So you just imagine Gandalf and Bilbo are like, want a beer? Or want a joint? Just be like, that was way too much BS. That's kind of how I felt. It was like, this movie was just so freaking long and unnecessary. It was just an unneeded extension of everything that was happening at the same time. Thorin Oakenshield and the dwarves of Erebor have reclaimed the vast wealth of their homeland, but now face the consequences of having unleashed the terrifying dragon Smaug upon Lake Town. Meanwhile, Sauron, the Dark Lord, has sent forth legions of orcs to attack the Lonely Mountain, and Bilbo Baggins finds himself fighting for his life as five great armies go to war. As darkness converges, the races of dwarves, elves, and men must decide, unite or be destroyed. And we are thinking, okay, I like this concept. And when I saw this when I saw Desolation in late 2013, it was really, really fun. 2014 comes along, we're waiting, and we're like, okay, how is this going to be? Fine, I guess. Benedict Cumberbatch portraying Smaug is truly great, with just the smoothest silk baritone voice and delivery, and just the presence and threat that he has. The only thing that can stop this almighty dragon is a dwarven forged black arrow that the guy that we kinda care about uses his son to balance it and actually shoot down the incredible beast. And that is a beautiful sequence. The first 20 minutes is just smooth. And then, let's see. Let's have the dragon sickness. Just the evil that Smaug emanated. It fills the air, I'm guessing, with, like, I don't know, carbon monoxide or something that causes delusions or something. Who the heck knows in his brain? And he just becomes infatuated with the gold, not willing to relinquish a single coin to anyone. So what happens? People who rightfully want shelter after having Lake Town destroyed seek refuge in the mountain, but of course he won't. Richard Armitage does a freaking fantastic job showing that once he thought that he could trust Bilbo, but then eventually when we get to see him just walk around with the arms and thinking and everything else and becoming blinded, that I enjoyed. I'm like, yes, this is why I want to see the struggle within as he's trying to get himself, what it means to be a king, but also knowing that Azog the Defiler is around. So we get to see a true great inner conflict of himself, and I'm just looking at him like, yes, this is the resolution that we've needed. Oh, and you're thinking, oh yes, this is good. I'm liking what I see here. And then you hit the button and you realize there's still an hour and 15 minutes left in this. As all the freaking armies converge. I was thinking, we've had this beautiful first arc of just power, just greed, becoming engulfed in one's head. I'm like, and then the armies converge. I'm like, okay, what do we have here? We have some elves and we have some lakemen. I'm like, okay, I can at least see the conflict, which one could possibly view as like different races just wanting to just come together after a great tragedy. It's like, okay, I want to see this. I like to hear about their philosophies and stuff like that. We get to hear the expansion of how dwarves are and stubborn, but they can also be kind and stuff like that. So, making them complex but interesting. And then another army of dwarves appears. Ironfoot, I think his name was, riding a beast. They just go around, and it slowly starts to come together. But I mean, it's glacially paced. It's just not good. It's just slow. It's like, okay, we'll have a little bit of action. We'll have the elves that appear in some great armor, but I don't know. It's just so long. It just suffers for a good, because the movie is 2 hours and 24 minutes. It suffers easily a good, what, hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40, just with the pacing and everything else. And it's just discussion, and then but then finally when the orcs do appear, yes, it gets cartoonish, but at least it's interesting enough, I guess. I'll admit, like when the first troll comes in, he's like comes in bashes like, and then he just faints comically. I'm like, okay, that was funny. And then the orcs come in and just start rampaging and everything, and it's like, yes. And I'm like, why couldn't we just cut the fluff, the wondering about the getting the shelter inside the back? Can we just get to some of the action and just cut it down, please? I'm glad Legolas is here. It's like Orlando Bloom. I think it was mentioned that he made $175,000 portraying Legolas, which is criminal. But he returns here. I'm happy that he's back, and we get to see him, be powerful, but at the same time believable. Up until when he's killing, before he eliminates Azog's like rank right below him, jumping like he's freaking during an audition for the Super Mario Brothers. Just some of the incredible, just over the top, unbelievable moments. I'm just like, the immersion here is just bad. I'm like, no, even for fantasy, this is still stupid. So it's just so excessive with the Legolas sequences, and I'm just like, no, just no. I felt that his relationship with his father, trying to be banished from the kingdom because of reasons of following Tariel, who's a movie exclusive character. I'm like, what? I don't know. It just didn't work out. I just had trouble believing their friendship at all in this. It's like, no. I don't know. It just didn't work well with me. I just disliked it. The second one was fine, but here, way too much that just didn't add to anything, and I'm like, no. And the battle itself is just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of quick edits and stuff. Yes, this was indeed the battle of the 5 armies, but it just, I don't know, the tension just felt flat. It's there for a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, and then we get Sauron, who's trying to get his forces prepared, which, yes, I liked seeing that a little bit, but again, what does that add? Does that add that he's more of a threat, that he's actually going to look there? I don't know. Yeah, at least we got to see a badass Galadriel moment. I like that. I actually managed to banish him, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't add. Maybe it did to you. Maybe I'm just missing something, but it just didn't work out that much overall. So I'm just like, whatever. Gandalf the Grey is there. And Christopher Lee, I think in probably like one of his last roles, because he was like 90 something. He does a good job. He gets to kick some butt. It's like, here I am, and eventually he joins up with Sauron, but he does take care of some of the ring wraiths, so the Nazgul, excuse me, whatever. So I was like, hey, one more badass scene, pretty cool, boom, nice fitting tribute to him. So say what you will about that. But yeah, ultimately, just because it's just so expansive, it was like the second one, yeah. You had a lot of stuff to cover, but it just felt it mostly paced outside like maybe the second act, which was okay, but the politics ruin it here. It's just too wrong. That freaking Alfred character, Alfrid, freaking hated him. Just annoying. Just trying to get away with all the money and everything. Just no, we're not blaming. No, we're not blaming the actor Ryan Gage. He plays the part. He plays the part. I'm like, yeah, but the character just really just needed just go away. Period. Just the politics, whatever. I don't care. It just didn't work for me. I'm sorry. So ultimately, this movie just feels like it's a good, I guess, and a good, like visually looks beautiful. Howard Shore music is always fantastic. It's epic, it's grandiose, it's quiet, subtle. Hits all the tones, which helps befit this overall uh, fine ending to the trilogy that makes use of like the string section, the percussion, and stuff like that. So I'm not going to blame that, but originally Guillermo del Toro set to direct this, but and that would have been very interesting. Um, but I forgot what company it was. They said, yeah, we wanted 3 movies out of something that was a 300-page book, even shorter, I think. So it was going to be 2, whatever it was. Ultimately, Peter Jackson had to come and save what he could from this, and at the time, it was the most expensive trilogy ever produced, and you can tell it's like, oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know. They'll do, it's like all the actors and actresses do a great job. They brought the Hobbit to life. Martin Freeman's great. Richard Armitage is great. We get to see Orlando Bloom, so that's a positive. None of the stars self-sabotaged it, so yeah, I don't know. Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies. It's kind of a whimper of an ending. It's fine, visually beautiful, but yeah, just want to see it again. Maybe some scenes online, but ultimately, just go and be like, just finish the trilogy.